We know things that men have a 5-year shorter lifespan than women. We know that if you want to keep your assets over time, you have to involve the younger generations, especially for very high net worth clients. You have to involve the spouse. In most cases, historically, men have been the primary focus of financial advisors. And all of a sudden, the male passes on, and statistically 70% of women leave their advisor within a year because there's no relationship between the advisor and the spouse, typically the woman, in 80% of the time. We also know that 80 or 90% of the very high net worth children of these high net worth people leave their advisor too. So one thing that's changed, I see, is holistic means that also not only the services I provide, but the services I provide them too. So that's one change. People have been offering holistic financial planning for years now. But there was a Spectrum study done 2 or 3 years ago only, and they talked about 16 services that clients were expecting and how many of them received it. 14 out of the 16 services that clients were looking for, investors' clients were looking for, were only satisfied 25% of the time. So 75% of the time, the advisor wasn't talking to the client about things that were important to them. And typically, it wasn't financial planning and it wasn't investment management because most of them get those services. But it's things like succession planning. It's things like the family. It's things even like healthcare. It's things like business succession. So there was a whole list of 14 areas where advisors aren't heavily involved in speaking to their clients. Holistic grows. Before it was about financial planning, and now it's about life planning. As George Kinder has put it, it's a much broader set of things. If I'm not in an organization that has its own estate attorney and its own CPA, what I as an advisor need to do is have strategic relationships with people that I'm very close to, but don't work in my firm, and have a holistic service of services. So that I want to have a group that addresses at least 80% of the client's total financial needs. It's difficult to do 100%. The Pareto principle says we should focus on the 20% of things we need to do to get 80% of the problem solved. And so we work on that as well.